Mr. Speaker, I rise today to provide this House and the listening public with an update on education reform. Mr. Speaker, honorable members would have heard in the speech from the throne that this government remains steadfastly committed to education reform. It should come as no surprise that the opening remarks of the throne speech, the very first statements, were focused on education reform. I would like to use a statement from the speech delivered by Her Excellency, the Governor, to remind honorable members and the listening public of the critical role education reform plays in ensuring our country makes genuine progress. Her Excellency stated, and I quote, "It takes time to deliver and get right, but the government maintains that education reform is vital to the growth and development of our community. Education is the foundation of any society's success." Mr. Speaker, while that might be our future, an education system that can provide our students with the necessary tools to thrive and succeed in their own country and in the global economy that our island home is very much a part of, let me start by going back in time in response to some of the questions the team and I have been receiving about the latest recruitment round for school transformation teams. Mr. Speaker, some of us may recall the events of May 2021, when the first round of recruitment of school transformation teams for Cedar Bridge Academy and the Barclay Institute was gazetted. Over 90 expressions of interest were received, and from those expressions of interest submissions, more than 60 participants were inducted and onboarding and began the rigorous work of co-designing the features of our new signature schools and the curriculum and learning experiences for the 4 signature learning programs on offer. Mr. Speaker, 2 outstanding professionals, Dr. Jamie Bacon and Alex Ammett, both of the Bermuda Zoological Society, put their hands up to be part of this new way of working for our system and our country. They had both demonstrated a long-term commitment to children and young people of Bermuda through the programs offered at the zoo and the aquarium. They were both willing to lean into something more systemic, something that had the potential to transform outcomes, specifically targeting a wider student demographic. Mr. Speaker, over the next 14 months, these 2 outstanding professionals, with the support of Dr. Ian Walker at BAMS, Bermuda Aquarium, Museum, and Zoo, spent hours each week working alongside our teachers, leaders, young people, and organizations that represent them, parents, and other business and community partners, painstakingly designing, testing, and reimagining what high school in Bermuda could really be. I remember stopping at the cafeteria at Cedar Bridge Academy on a rainy Thursday evening where these teens were robustly debating whether Bermuda's children and young people were ready to embrace these new opportunities, that they deserve nothing less, and what would happen if we didn't redesign learning, and what it would truly take to make this work come to life. Mr. Speaker, in September 2022, the first S1 students entered these new signature learning programs at Cedar Bridge Academy and the Barclay Institute. These same businesses and community partners welcomed the students on their first day and worked alongside their classroom teachers in the first few weeks. Their role did not end when the curriculum was done. It had just begun. Drs. Ammett, Dr. Bacon, and their colleagues, Dr. Toro and Ms. Holmes, have been instrumental in delivering the STEM signature learning program at Cedar Bridge Academy. You will find our students conducting field work alongside these industry professionals and blending theory and practice now that they see how the knowledge they have gained is applied in the real world. You will see them accessing hands-on, real-world learning opportunities that enable them to develop the skills, knowledge, and relationships to follow their passions, build on their talents, and achieve their career and further education aspirations. Mr. Speaker, we understand that assessing the effects of our initiatives on the educational system will require time. However, we diligently monitor improvements to ensure that they benefit the youth and the broader Bermuda community. To facilitate this, we conducted surveys with every S1 student, parent, and teachers at 2 critical intervals during the last academic year, after the first and second semesters. I plan to give a detailed ministerial statement on these findings later this year upon completion of the final report. Meanwhile, I am pleased to offer some preliminary findings with honorable members and the listening public. Mr. Speaker, after a year of implementing the initial set of signature learning programs, the data from our monitoring and evaluation efforts displays the following positive indicators. Approximately 75% of students enjoy what they are studying in the signature learning programs. Some may ask, why is this important? Enjoyment matters as it leads to motivation, and motivation leads to achievement. Approximately 70% of our students believe signature learning program courses help them build on their talents and capabilities. This is significant as the courses have been structured so students have strength-based, personalized pathways where we move away from a one-size-fits-all approach. Approximately 70% of students believe signature learning program teachers and coursework challenge them to do the best. This matters as the appropriate level of challenge is one of the strongest predictors of academic performance. Continuous monitoring and feedback, including insights from signature school principals, indicate that student engagement is high in signature learning program courses, as seen by a decrease in exam retakes and late assignment submissions compared to non-signature learning program courses. Furthermore, these reports suggest that academic performance is improving. This information, highlighting both strengths and areas needing development, is guiding us in our goal to become an adaptive learning system that utilizes real-time feedback for ongoing enhancement. Mr. Speaker, you may wonder why I have been telling this story. What has it got to do with Her Excellency's speech from the throne last week? Well, it is because at the same time, we released the expression of interest process for the latest round of school transformation team recruitment. At this time, my colleagues who sit in this place and in another place have received many questions and concerns. Questions such as, are they, the Ministry of Education, recruiting again because everyone involved in this has left? Or, shouldn't this have been done by now? Why aren't we just implementing it? Or why do we need more people to get involved? We even had an official press release by the One Bermuda Alliance, co-signed by the Shadow Minister of Education, suggesting that the recruitment process was a backtrack on the part of the Ministry of Education and the ongoing parish primary school site selection rescoring process. Mr. Speaker, we will need to recruit, induct, and onboard school transformation teams each year until all continuing schools are transitioned. We won't just work with those schools for the period they are open. We will continue to work with them for between 3 and 5 years following. Why? Because that's how change is sustained. That is how we ensure we do not repeat the mistakes of the past, where new ideas become fads that come and go without ever changing the outcome or trajectories of our children. Mr. Speaker, education reform needs every single citizen to be involved. We need more doctors, Bacon, Ammett, Walker, and Toro, and Ms. Holmes. We need more like Ms. Coddington from KPMG. We need more like Mr. Smith from Coombe Consulting. We need more educators and leaders like De Silver, Dublin, Richardson, Phillips, De Shields, Allen, Lowe, Fox, Caesar, Douglas, Ferber Jacobs, and Waldron, and I could go on, that have been involved in these design teams from the very outset. We need more parents like Simmons Carey, who's a parent at Berkeley Institute. We need more of Bermuda. Bermuda, we need you. Mr. Speaker, I'll finish where I began, with a quote from Her Excellency from the throne speech. It takes time to deliver to get right, but government maintains that education reform is vital to the growth and development of our community. Education is the foundation of any society's success. I urge members to let those words sink in when considering whether or not you take up the opportunity to join a school transformation team as we take education reform forward in Bermuda. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.